As principal of MTES, it is my pleasure to recognize Miss Tiffany Clarke as MTES's Governor Educator of the Year for 2019-2020. Ms. Clarke has been part of the Manchester school system as a substitute teacher since 2009, and she has worked at all 3 elementary schools. She landed a permanent position at MTES, thank goodness, as a special education teacher and basic skills teacher for grades 1, 2, and 3 back in 2012. Today, she teaches 3rd and 5th graders in a resource room setting. Well, lucky for us, Ms. Clarke decided not to follow her initial career path. She went to school to be a lawyer, but rather than after studying law and working at a summer camp, her passion for teaching won out. With a pre-law degree from Liberty University and a master's from Georgian Court University, Ms. Clarke took a position in Manchester Township, and the rest, they say, is history. Ms. Clarke is an exceptionally skilled and dedicated educator. She is a lifelong learner and has proven that over and over by requesting to attend professional development opportunities, even in the summer. She's a sponge for professional development and regularly shares with staff what she learns. One of my favorite 10-minute Tuesday PD sessions was when she shared her put your 2 cents in strategy. It was a big hit with staff, and I had the pleasure of observing her putting it into action with her students and getting them all engaged in learning and having their voices heard using this very simple approach. She is both Wilson and Orton Gillingham trained, and that is no easy task, which allows her to offer interventions and strategies to support all students. Being trained in these specialized programs, having multiple degrees, and her genuine love of learning all make her a true asset to our school community. Ms. Clarke demonstrates leadership and innovation in and out of the classroom. She's a valued member of our special education team and our basic skills team, offering suggestions and interventions and advice not only to staff and administration, but to parents as well on a regular basis. She served as the school improvement panel teacher representative for several years, working very closely with Mrs. Moore and I to provide leadership in the areas of evaluation, mentoring, and professional development. This role came with many committee responsibilities, including our assessment committee, our school professional development committee, our school safety, culture, and climate committee, and INRS. She continues to serve on all of these committees. She's been instrumental in the implementation of our New Jersey tiered system of support, and she served on our intervention and collection team, which collects support, lessons, hands-on materials for both teachers and parents to use based on the diverse needs of the student population. Ms. Clarke inspires students of all backgrounds and abilities to learn. There are times when her day is split between special education and regular education students. However, she treats all with the utmost of respect, and it's reciprocated to her as well. She patiently assists her struggling students and challenges them to be the best that they can be. Educating the whole child is something that she takes to heart, believing that building their self-esteem and their confidence will help them to be successful in and out of the classroom. She uses these phrases that are amazing. Hocus pocus, and you are smart, kind, and important. Those phrases allow all of her students to feel socially and emotionally supported and loved. The positive culture and climate that she developed is contagious, and it's admired by all. Others look to emulate her in their own classroom. Ms. Clarke has the respect and admiration of students, parents, administrators, and colleagues. And it should be noted that 2 years ago, she was named a Teacher Who Rocks by a local radio station. Colleagues and parents sent nominations in to support her. Ms. Clarke plays an active role in the community as well as in school, and she has very strong family ties and is often seen giving back to our own community. She's an active member of her church and serves on the staff of the New Hope Deliverance Center of Manchester. As a trustee, she handles the finances of the church. Community programs are offered through her guidance and her leadership. Just this Thanksgiving, her church partnered with our Helping Hands for Hunger and provided turkeys and additional food for all of our families in need. And that was just a thought that Ms. Clarke had. She's also been a member of our Relay for Life team. She serves in the leadership role for our fun fair. Giving back to the community in which she serves is a lifelong passion and something that she learned from observing the community leadership within her very own family who are here with her tonight. So thank you so much for that. As you can see, Ms. Clarke is a humble, passionate, wonderful role model and very deserving of this honor. Her dedication, willingness to work hard, and her strong faith and her belief that every student can learn sets her apart. She truly makes a difference. So on behalf of the MTES staff, Mrs. Moore, and myself, we proudly recognize and honor Tiffany Clarke as MTES's Educator of the Year.
Wow, after hearing all those things about myself, I had a whole speech here, but I'm gonna go a different direction. I'm just so filled with gratitude and just wanna simply say thank you. First, I have to give honor to God who has given me the skills and the talents that I'm able to use within my classroom and able to take the different things that I've learned in my family and in ministry and use it to build up my classroom. For that, I am truly, truly thankful. I have to thank my family who has supported me so much in private so that I can shine publicly. They have done things from buying materials and seating and different things for my classroom and even making it. The shelves in my room, my family made. Flexible seating, when it first came out, my uncle got the materials and tools together over the summer and said, let's do this. So I have to thank my family. They have helped me put my classroom up at the beginning of the year and take it apart at the end. They volunteered for Fun Fair. They volunteered for Dr. Zeus Day, Barnes & Noble's night. Anything that I'm doing, my family has volunteered and has helped me out, and I am truly grateful for them because I couldn't have done it alone. I have to say thank you to the administrators. The way my path was set, almost every administrator in this district has played a major role in me becoming the teacher that I am today. From helping me when I finally made the decision to go into teaching to write my first resume, to turn in, from being professors that I have and whose quotes I still utilize, and one of the quotes that is a foundational pillar of my classroom. Whether you think you are or you think you can't, you're probably right. And I have used that so much in my classroom to learn that you have to teach to the whole child. While academics is important, if they don't believe they can, they're not gonna go any further than what they can see. But if they believe in who they are, they're gonna push past anything that they can imagine. So I try to teach them with affirmations that you are smart, special, and important. And tell them that it's not enough that Ms. Clarke believes that, but you have to believe it for yourself. And I'm seeing so many of my children that have come in with dyslexia and different disabilities shine because they grow to believe that they are somebody. And they grow to believe that they are capable. And I'm so grateful that I've had so many administrators in all three schools to guide me. And even when I question myself, to tell me, Tiffany, you know what you're doing the right thing. Administrators to encourage me to find a balance, who have come into my room so nicely after hours to say, should I put a cot in here? As a way of reminding me, Tiffany, you really need to leave. And to mentor teachers who have helped me to figure out my path. When I was going back and forth, whether I should go to law school or teach, mentor teachers in Ridgeway, in Whiting, and MTES that said, no, you are a teacher. And not only are you a teacher, you're a special ed teacher. And I thank you guys so much for that, because I wanted to teach but didn't quite think I had the strength to switch fields. And because of the loving community at Manchester, I had the strength to go after my passion and not just do something that I'm good at. I want to thank the staff at MTES, my whole crew. We truly do support one another. We're more than just colleagues, we are friends. They've helped to talk me off of ledges when I'm overthinking things. They say, Tiffany, stop. You're overthinking it. What's the best way of doing it? You're making this difficult. And I need that because if anybody who knows me knows that I'm type A and I can go extremely overboard. I'm so thankful for the staff members that were getting their masters at the same time as I was, because they would call and check on me and go, Tiffany, how many pages are you at? And I would go, 8. They said the paper is 5. Either end it or cut it down. So I thank them for that, giving me tools and strategies to help me better my students, being able to let me talk through things and then say you had the answer all along. It's very different from people just to give you strategies, but to allow you to use them as a soundboard to figure out what you're going to do. And to encourage you, even outside of school. When my family had such a difficult time in the spring with COVID, it was a lot of my teacher friends that really held my hand and kept me pushing forward so I didn't fall apart. And I'm so grateful for the administrator and for my staff friends that helped me to get through that. I'm thankful for the parents who trust me enough to be able to guide their children's academic development and to trust me enough not only to help them grow academically, but as a whole person. And I thank them for that. And most of all, I thank my students. My students who have taught me more than any textbook, more than any workshop or seminar, what is truly important when it comes to being a good teacher. They have taught me that they are what's most important. That making sure that they grow as a whole person is what's most important. That developing a bond and a relationship with your students is what's going to have a lasting positive effect on them as they grow into adults and go out into the world. So I thank my students for continuing to allow me to try out these tools and strategies on them. And even when I push, because I believe that even if a student is in special ed or in basic skills, it doesn't mean that they can't learn and that we have to lower the bar. So I tell them at the beginning of the year, sometimes you're gonna love me and sometimes you're gonna say, I can't stand that woman. And I love that even when I go into drill sergeant mode, my students have learned to persevere and to push through and to develop tools and strategies that they can incorporate into their own lives so that they can be successful. So once again, I say thank you. And even though this award is given to me, I give it back to all those who have impacted me as an educator and continue to help me strive for the stars. Once again, I say thank you.